Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alphanim. So we're going to begin here with this article on ambcrypto.com. It's the first article that popped up when I did a search today, and it is titled ChatGPT predicts XRP price. Yes, this is another price prediction. I know some people don't like that. My apologies. You can skip this chapter. It says ChatGPT predicts XRP price can reach $2 to $5 by the end of the year. Yes, I know no one knows exactly what XRP's price is going to be. We're simply collecting data. All right. That's all. So then let's go down here. Let's scroll down, see what they're talking about here. In 2023, the price of XRP is set to reach, this is what ChatGPT is saying, is set to reach new heights, soaring to $5 per coin. The partnerships and adoption of Ripple's technology will fuel its growth, attracting institutional investors and propelling XRP into the spotlight. The ripples it creates in the finance, is that pun intended? This is AI. I don't think that they can do puns, can they? That's interesting. Anyway, the ripples it creates in the financial world will be felt far and wide as XRP solidifies its position as a leading digital asset. However, please remember that this response is purely speculative and not even ChatGPT has to give a disclaimer, and not based on any real prediction or insider information. Of course, I think we all understand that, right? That's interesting. Let's see if they have anything else. Oh, there's more. Okay, I was about to say, they said $2. So let's check this out here. It says, based on the 2021 historical price data, it is envisioned a humble average price of $2 per coin. The forecast reflects a cautious projection considering the historical performance of XRP. However, keep in mind that cryptocurrency markets are volatile. Then they go into all that type of thing there. So that's interesting that even AI is coming to a particular conclusion. And I would assume that a lot of this is based off of when the SEC case is over, because it's talking about institutional investors. It's talking about companies and such like that. And they can only really make a run with XRP when the case is over. Right. But even ChatGPT is within that range of that $2 to $5. So now let's move on here to another article. I hope you all are having a good day. All right, having a clear mind. This article is from U.Today, and it is titled Ripple versus SEC escrow freeze is reasonable for XRP, says law veteran. All right, let's see what they're talking about. Escrow freeze. They need that escrow to continue to grease the wheels, so to speak, in corridors for on-demand liquidity. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it says here, in a recent discussion regarding the ongoing legal battle between Ripple and the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission, former attorney and former SEC director in San Francisco, Mark Fagel. Oh, no wonder. I was wondering who was saying this. Is Mark Fagel, of course, sir. Of course, you're going to go against us, sir. I respect it. You're on the enemy side. It says, has expressed his agreement with a contentious opinion from a member of the XRP community that just happens to be in SEC's favor, right? The focal point of the discussion revolves around the desired outcome in the SEC's case against Ripple. So the debate was ignited by a tweet from an XRP community member, okay, who shared their dream scenario for the case. They suggested that Ripple should be fined, all right, with the majority of the escrow funds handed over to the SEC and permanently locked away. However, why would you concede all of that if we haven't had to concede it as of yet? I'm trying to understand. I say concede nothing to the enemy. Defeat them outright. Take it to the Supreme Court if you have to and win outright, because the Supreme Court, all the experts say, will lean in our favor. Why bend the knee? Why concede anything? I wouldn't give up anything. You're going to have to take it from me. That's how I feel. But that's just my humble opinion. I could be wrong. I don't have all the details of what was said here. Let's continue on. And I say that respectfully. All right. It's okay to disagree. It says that they suggested that Ripple should be fined with the majority of the escrow funds handed over. If they're not securities, why should they be fined? Right. And I say, if they're not securities, they weren't securities offerings. And the SEC, well, we won't get into that now. But we have precedent set where clearly these assets are something new and there should be new rules that they go by, which means that you can't go by the old rules, correct? And if we're going to say that and draw that conclusion, then they can't say that those were security sales. There's no contract. Anyway, says with the majority of escrow. Okay. However, they propose that moving forward, and I could be wrong on that. Correct me. However, they propose that moving forward, all circulating XRP should be classified as a commodity. It is a commodity. It is a commodity. Central banks own tons of gold, way more than you and I. Are those now not a commodity because they can manipulate the price of silver and gold because of how much they own? When they sell gold, when they buy gold and buy it heavy, that's why gold has been able to float above $1,900 for so long, correct? And if they were to sell heavy, and we did see heavy selling from a certain bank recently, then it brings the price down a little bit. Haven't you seen that as well, right? So, but does that make it not a commodity? Because whoever owns the most of something, that's sort of a light centralization of power. They're commodities. It doesn't change the nature of what it is. It's a commodity. So let's continue. What's my humble opinion? It says, to this, Fagel responded, quote, sounds reasonable enough. Of course, the enemy is going to agree. Of course, he's on their side. I understand. It says, indicating his alignment with his viewpoint. What's going on? This discussion gained traction following the SEC's recent advancement of their legal theory on secondary market sales in response to Coinbase's motion, citing legal precedents. The SEC argues that the economic reality of a transaction involving a crypto asset security is not a security, but okay, that's their wording. Let's make that clear. That's their wording. They're trying to force that into people's minds by always wording it that certain way. A lot of governmental entities do that. When they want to force something through, they make that a recurring piece of their verbiage, and it makes its way into the minds of the people. And then the people begin to use that verbiage, and before you know it, it becomes the truth. I don't play that game. So it says here, is not altered simply because it becomes available on a trading platform like Coinbase. That's not the point that anyone, I think, logically is making. It's the essential nature of the creation of it, what it is, what it does, the mechanisms of it, the functions of it, the utility, and so many other factors. This is why. I mean, but I'll let the legal teams deal with that, right? But I'm just going by some of the top legal minds out there and what they have said. That's their job. This SEC individual is not one of the top legal minds in the world. We've even had Harvard Law. Do I need to say it again? Harvard Law in 2 different papers say the same thing, iterate the same thing. Now, I would think Silvio Macaulay of Algorand, who's one of the most brilliant minds on the planet, who continuously is winning awards, by the way, even up till this year, for how brilliant he is, I think he would have a firm understanding of what technology he built, right? When it comes to something, let's say, similar to XRP, that's like Algorand, for example. But what these other individuals want us to believe is that these brilliant minds somehow just said to themselves, you know what? We want to build something that's in the legal security. Absolutely not. It's mind-boggling, just my humble opinion, to even say such a thing. So anyway, let's move on to another article here. So now this next article here is coming from thecryptobasic.com, and it is titled, Analyst Identifies Price Level at which XRP would finally face rocket-like rally. It says, in a recent analysis, renowned expert and analyst eGrag has discussed the future price of XRP. eGrag utilizes technical indicators, including the monthly volume profile visible range, to identify significant support and resistance levels influencing market directions. eGrag's just been doing a great job, in my humble opinion. The information this individual has been putting out has been very interesting, in my opinion. So it continues on here. It says these ranges, it has a nice little chart here. Check out thecryptobasic.com to see the chart. These ranges act as crucial support and resistance levels, ultimately shaping the direction of the asset's value. By examining VPVR, eGrag has identified key battlegrounds where the bulls and bears are currently clashing, thereby influencing the future movement of XRP. Personally, I believe that the partnerships and things like that, if you want to see those explosive prices, we got to get past this case first. I think that's for most of the bank coins. We have to get past this SEC case and have a few good precedents set. And then they all can, if it's going to happen, then they have the opportunity to fire off. I don't expect anything massive until then. All right. It says, according to eGrag's analysis, the point of control located within the 30 cent, 35 cent range stands out as significant support level. The point of control represents the price level at which the highest trading volume has occurred. Let's scroll down a little bit. We're skipping a little bit here. All right. It says, in addition, EGRAG highlights the upper and lower boundaries of the value area, denoted as VAH and VAL, respectively. In the case of XRP, the VAH is located at 58 cents, while the VAL sits at 17 cents. These boundaries define the price range within which most trading activity has occurred. Therefore, breaching the upper boundary of 58 cents would signify a significant breakthrough for XRP. All right, so I'm going to stop there. There's a lot more to this article. Once again, check out thecryptobasic.com if you want to see more there. It's been on my mind constantly since they did this, when they were negotiating about the debt ceiling. It was mind-blowing to me that they removed a borrowing limit. Spending limit, borrowing limit, same thing, right? Here's what it says from theguardian.com, just to read it from a reputable source. It says the debt ceiling bill was passed by the House. The debt ceiling bill passed by the House would suspend the government's borrowing limit until January 2025, ensuring the issue will not resurface before the next presidential election. No, that's not. See, and that's not what's important. The part that's important here is it would suspend the government's borrowing limit. Have you seen how much they've been borrowing as of late? It's astronomical, which means that the debt is going to increase significantly. The country can only handle so much debt. Something just doesn't add up to me. It doesn't look good. So you have all this stress on your financial sector. The banks are in trouble from big to small. We all know that. But to also do something like this, something's rotten in Denmark, folks. This is from pgpf.com, just to go by another reputable source, Peter G. Peterson Foundation. Number 4 on this page, top 10 reasons why national debt matters. Number 4, rising debt means fewer economic opportunities for Americans. Rising debt reduces business investment and slows economic growth. It also increases expectations of higher rates of inflation and erosion of confidence in the US dollar. These are two things we've been discussing a lot. And it's been on my mind. I'm keeping an eye on this. So you have them taking these actions, which is injurious to the US dollar. Then you have outside forces also taking actions simultaneously that is injurious to the US dollar. Do you see where this is going? Just correct me if I'm wrong. Like, just tell me, hey, Mick, it just seems that way. Just tell me, come on. Because right now it definitely is looking like a lot of the brilliant subscribers on this channel have been correct. And this is a controlled demolition. I could be wrong. So the federal government should not allow budget imbalances to harm our economy. Okay, then they go, and that's a little personal. But it says here, let's see. Less flexibility to respond to crisis. On our current path, we are at greater risk of fiscal crisis. And high amounts of debt leave policymakers with much less flexibility to deal with unexpected events. If we face another major recession like that of 2007, 2009, it will be more difficult to work our way out. It says protecting the essential safety net. Our unsustainable fiscal path threatens the safety net and the most vulnerable in our society. Okay, and then they go into things if our government does not have sufficient resources, essential programs like Medicaid, Social Security, and those who need most could be put in jeopardy. So, and then they have a section that says many solutions exist. Here's the concern, and I was thinking about this earlier before I even came to make this video, that there's a lot of solutions. We've discussed a lot of them probably about a year ago. So it's been some time. But they haven't utilized any of them. But I understand, this is the understanding that I have. Before you build a new house, typically you tear down the old foundation. You see where I'm going? It looks like they're tearing out the foundation of everything. so something new could be put into place. I think the new financial system is just one aspect of that. So I just wanted to put that out there, put that on your table. Maybe some people give me their thoughts. We'll see. So now let's move on here. So now I want to put this out there. This is from the cryptobasic.com, right? And it's titled, Ripple has limited impact on APAC payments landscape, says Bank of America Treasury. This was a strange article to see because we've seen, I believe, personally, I've seen 2 or 3 articles where they are absolutely praising XRP, Ripple, right? So for them to come out now, my apologies for the pauses, but I try to think about what I'm going to say before I say it. For them to now double back after about 2 weeks of praising XRP and Ripple and say this, it just leads me to a few conclusions. Number one, who got paid what money to say this? That's number one. I really think that way because I have certain experiences and I've seen things. Who paid who to say this, allegedly? And number two, they really don't want FOMO. They really, really don't want FOMO on XRP or any of these other bank coins. Notice how a lot of bank coins are quiet. All these massive projects that have come out, and yet you don't see mainstream covering this. You don't see tons of articles everywhere. We have to really claw and dig to find information on some of these projects. They don't want FOMO. They don't want too many people getting in on XRP, in my humble opinion. So a top financial expert says the impact of Ripple remains limited. You see, they have to balance it out. They put too much positivity on XRP and Ripple. They got excited. And rightfully so. There's a lot going on right now. So now they have to pull it back, pull the energy in the opposite direction, in the negative direction. So that the people don't get too excited and feel like they want to pick up some more XRP, which someone definitely is picking up a lot of XRP because the next article I have says 1.1 billion XRP was recently bought by whales. Who are they? Then they give information that's absolutely ridiculous. It says here, a top financial expert says the impact of Ripple remains limited in the APAC payments landscape as Swift GPI takes center stage in the Asia Pacific region. This is what they wanted to say to pull the energy in an opposite direction. A Swift that over 41 countries probably are not going to be using. And there's many more countries that are interested in BRICS Nation activity. And they want nothing to do with Swift. But Swift is what you mentioned. It just doesn't add up to me. It makes no logical sense. It says in a document discussing the rapid development of payments technology in the Asia Pacific region, head of Treasury products in APAC for Bank of America, S. Venkat. This is the same individual that was praising XRP and Ripple recently. One of them spotlighted the impact of San Francisco-based blockchain technology firm Ripple in the evolving payments landscape. The document discusses APAC's diverse payments ecosystem and notes the growing momentum of blockchain products as a solution for cross-border transactions. It acknowledges the digitalization is rapidly gaining ground, even in areas where traditional cash and paper-based clearing systems still prevail. Oh, well, that's really okay. So they're saying some really, really good things here. According to the document, APAC is at the forefront of offering various digital payment options, ranging from mobile consumer payments via QR codes, which we do, to real-time corporate treasury solutions, which we do, and central bank digital currencies and cryptocurrencies. Then it says, then it gets to the other part. Ripple has limited impact in APAC. In what way? We're working with the Monetary Authority of Singapore. We have great relationship in Japan. I believe we have a good hold in South Korea. Are we in Malaysia as well? I'm trying to remember from a long time ago. I could have sworn we had some projects in Malaysia. I could be wrong on that. Maybe that was Stellar. Anyway, it says, Venkat pointed out that its impact has been limited, Ripple, particularly in cross-border payments in the Asia-Pacific region. He argued that while blockchain technology has played a crucial role in digitizing trade documentation and enabling smart contracts, it is yet to match the initial hype surrounding it. Well, has there been regulations to allow us to run wild and run free everywhere? No, not yet. But you know that. You know that. And look how much we've done without regulatory clarity. That's the real highlight here. And it makes a lot of people shake in their boots, doesn't it? Swift has a lot of power. We know that, and a lot of capital. So they definitely can make you feel the pressure and say, hey, Bank of America, what are you doing? We know you love XRP. We know you love Ripple. Dial that back a little bit. Yeah, you're not making us look good. Dial that back a little bit. We don't want them to shine too much. Just my humble opinion. I'm just playing with an idea here. That's all. Nothing more than that. But that's what this looks like. A dial back, right? Limited, I say we have a heck of an impact in that region. Across the globe, we have a heck of an impact. And you and I both know that. That's why the U.S. federal government is working with Ripple, correct? Faster Payments Task Force, Faster Payments Council. That's why the UK is working with Ripple. Digital Pound Foundation, Bank of England. We have a direct line to the Bank of England. Oh, don't forget, we have a direct line with the IMF. We're on their advisory council of the IMF. Globally, I'm just talking globally. We have a massive impact globally. As a matter of fact, none of these payment systems that are going digital will be where they are without us. And we will stay in advancements of them and dominate the future. You and I both know that. You and I both know that. There's no getting around it. This future that is coming is inevitable. But I understand you seek to control the minds of the people. The people can be very emotional. I know, and you try to use that to control them. The people can be worn down, and you use that to control them. I know the game. I know the game. You repeat something enough, just like the songs on the radio, and that song gets stuck in the people's head, in their minds. You just keep playing it. They didn't like it at first, but they heard it so much they just one day find themselves singing that song. I know, and you use that to control the people. I know. These are tactics, folks. Tactics. They can be used for negative things. A lot of times they are, but they can be used for positive things as well. It's just like affirmations. Every day somebody wakes up and they say something and convince themselves of it. They didn't believe it the first few times they said it, but they said it enough times where now it's becoming second nature to them. And now they become better because of the affirmation. You see, so it can work in both ways. I understand the balance. All right. So these individuals, they use the balance in a particular way. They use these tactics in a particular way. That's just how it is. If they want to get a message across, all they have to do is say it enough times. That's where the FUD comes in. The news has said something so many times that people believe it. Oh, Bitcoin is bad. They believe it. A lot of people, they believe that. Oh, XRP is bad. Same thing, right? So they wield information in that way. I understand this. And this is why I keep moving forward. I do my own research. I'm going to look at the positives, the negatives, the highs, the lows. I make my own calculations, and then I will decide which direction I go in. If not, that's saying that you're going to trust your destiny in the hands of another. Now, I know most of you out there, you don't do that. Most of you out there, you're researchers just like I am. You read a lot of things. You have a lot of knowledge. I understand that completely. See, and that's why we get along so well. We are ones who pave our own path, our own destiny. We've always been that way, but we're different. We're very unique. There's not a lot like us. So when I see this, I'm just identifying it. I'm analyzing it. So that way I know, hey, okay, I see what's going on here. I believe I know what's going on here. That's just my thoughts. I'm not trying to put this on you. You believe what you want, but I will cast this to the side. If I do see something negative with a company, I'm going to recognize it for what it is. Even if it's a bank coin company, it doesn't make a difference. The truth is the truth. But this here does not seem to be truthful. It seems to be very, very shady to say such a thing after you rain so much praise upon them. So as the Crypto Basic reported, the approval, they're talking about the Monetary Authority of Singapore. It says, despite this, Ripple has recently secured, despite this, even the Crypto Basic has to go against what this individual is saying. Despite this, Ripple has recently secured high-profile regulatory clearance from the regulatory authorities of Singapore. I just said that a little while ago. The development caught the attention of Yoshitaka Kitao, the chairman of SBI Holdings, Japan. I talked about that as well. And I did not read this beforehand. See, it's just logical. So all the logical people are coming to the same conclusion. A leading financial services firm in Asia. Imagine where we'll be in a year with all of this activity that just occurred this year. The CBDC platform. Now we're going into retail. This is as the Crypto Basic reported, the approval will allow Ripple to expand its client base in APAC. So why would this individual say this now, knowing that we just secured that high-profile regulatory clearance from the Monetary Authority of Singapore? So now is our time, even though we've done a lot in that region already. Now is our time to really run. You see what I'm talking about? Deception. It's my humble opinion. You don't have to agree. Just my humble opinion. So I had a few more articles, but we're going to leave off for there today. I'll put the rest of them in the members only section as usual. I hope you saw the other articles I posted yesterday in the members only section after the regular video that I released. Okay. So, and we'll return tomorrow. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.